Grab a cocktail and your jalapenos. Let's make an appetizer classic. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Smoked Meat with Jeff. Today we're going to be making a classic. Take a look at this bad boy right here. We're going to turn some jalapenos into some bacon-wrapped stuffed jalapeno poppers. Some of them call them atomic buffalo turds, and there's some other creative names for these things, but this is one of the favorites that comes off my smoker for an appetizer while my guests are waiting for the main course to come off the smoker. So let's get started. Gotta keep hydrated. All right, for making this crowd favorite, you just need a couple of real basic non-food ingredients. You're gonna need a mixing bowl, sharp knife, toothpicks, of course, and if you can get a hold of one of these things, this is a real time saver. This is basically a jalapeno coring little implement. You just shove it in the jalapeno and ream it out, get all the seeds out. If you can get one of these, time saver. If not, not the end of the world. For our basic food ingredients, of course, you're going to need a good sized bag of jalapenos. Don't go with the ones that are super huge. Try and stick with the medium size or even smaller. You're going to need some cream cheese. Don't go with the low fat. Don't go with an off-brand. It's total garbage. Stick with the Philadelphia original cream cheese, room temperature and softened. You're going to need some shredded cheese, your choice of cheese. I'm just going with some basic, this is mozzarella and a little bit of cheddar, but you can also do pepper jack, works really well. You're going to need some green onions. We're going to take this and just chop it up real fine. And of course, you're going to need some bacon to wrap all of these things when we're done, and then we're going to throw them on the smoker. Nice little side dish. We'll put it on the smoker about an hour or so before we put the meat on, or timing it depending on what you're making. This takes about 3 hours to smoke, 2.5 to 3 hours depending on the temperature that you're running. And you want to have these come off an hour to 45 minutes before your main meal is coming off the smoker, so you could get your guests all ready for that main course with a little appetizer dish. So let's go ahead and move on to prepping all of this. It's fairly straightforward, and I'm going to start cutting up some jalapenos and showing you how to assemble this little concoction. Okay, if your eyes are itchy, scratch them now, because once you start cutting up these jalapenos, you're not going to want to touch your face. Believe me, made that mistake a long time ago. So we're going to get prepping on our jalapenos. You're just going to take each of your jalapenos and you're going to cut off the top. Take your core, if you have one, put it down on the inside and kind of ream out the center and pull out the center with all those seeds. You end up with a nice little hollow jalapeno. And if you're doing one of the other jalapenos and you have a jalapeno rack where these will sit in like this, you can leave it like this, put your stuffing inside, and smoke those as well. Top it with a little cheese. Absolutely tremendous. But we're actually going to cut these up, stuff them with our cream cheese and other spices, and then we're going to bacon wrap these things. So now that we have this hollowed out, you're just going to cut it in half to make a couple of little boats. Now you will find that when we get to the bacon side of this, I will actually cut these in half again, like this, so that I can make these into little bite-sized jalapeno bites. So we're going to do that with all of our jalapenos, and then we're going to stuff it with our mixture. And to do that, to make our mixture, we're just going to take our softened cream cheese, dump in our chopped up green onion, and then take your shredded cheese, dump that in there, and grab a wooden spoon or something nice and strong, and it's going to take a little bit of work. Just mix this up into a nice paste that we're going to use to stuff into our jalapenos. So I'm going to work on this because this takes a little bit of elbow grease. Stay hydrated. And then we'll return with stuffing our jalapenos, wrapping them in bacon, and then throwing them onto the smoker. All right, my smoked meat lovers, it's time for assembly. So I've got my my stuffing, cheese, and green onions all mixed into the cream cheese. That's ready to go. I got my jalapenos all cut up, hollowed out, got most of the seeds out. I took my pack of bacon and I actually cut it in half. Just right in the package, cut it in half. That's the easiest way to do it. And at this point, go ahead and take your toothpicks and just grab a handful of them out of the box, because once you start working with the bacon, you don't want to put your fingers back in there and contaminate that whole box. And you hear me talking about the Bradley racks in my videos a lot. If you have them, break one out, because this is going to be one of those recipes where this comes in really handy for putting all of your appetizers on here for very easy transport over to the smoker. So assembly. Very easy. You're going to take your half a pack of bacon and just pull off a couple slices so that they're ready to go. Take a little jalapeno pocket, a little bit of the cream cheese, spoon it on in there, and then just kind of shape it. So we've got a little boat of cream cheese going there. And then take your bacon, and you may need to do a little bit of stretching, but we're going to wrap the bacon not around the sides this way, but we're going to go long ways to really use that bacon to seal up the ends of our little flavor boats here to keep that cheese in there. So you can see I got it wrapped up like so. Take a toothpick, stab it in. Just go through the bottom a little bit, and this one's ready for the smoker. So we're going to put it right on our Bradley rack. Toothpicks go right down underneath so it sits up nice and straight. We're just going to repeat this a bunch of times, fill this rack, and then it's time to throw this thing onto the smoker. The type of wood that you're using to make this happen really doesn't matter, because this is an appetizer dish. You're just going to smoke this with whatever you already have going in the smoker to cook your main meal. So cherry, hickory, almond, it really doesn't matter, because you want to make sure you pick your flavor of wood more in line with your main dish than this little appetizer. So I'm going to do this much times. It's going to throw it on the smoker. Typically 250 degrees is where I normally have my smoker at when I'm cooking most of my dishes. Excuse me. So this will be at about 250 degrees for between 2.5 and 3 hours, depending on if you have hot spots on your smoker. And because I'm going to be doing this with some other items in the smoker, I'm going to two-tier my smoker. I've built a little rack that these can sit in, so this will sit on top and my main meal will cook underneath. So we'll get a little bit of cheese melting down onto the main dish, but as far as I'm concerned, that's just some extra flavor. So I'm going to work on this, and then we'll come back, get this thing onto the smoker. Alright, I got all my jalapenos stuffed and ready for the smoker. So I'm going to go ahead and throw these on. Should take between 2.5 and 3 hours. So let's get smoking. Alright, you ready for this? Cooking on my top rack, it only took about 2 hours to do these instead of 2.5 to 3. I guess my top rack's a little hotter, but oh man, take a look at that. Nice and crispy bacon. Got the cheese melting out of there in the little jalapeno boat. Look at that one. You got the cheese coming right out the side, nice and crispy. Oh, these look amazing. Do I dare pop one while they came right off the smoker? This is going to be hot. Oh baby, that's amazing. Look at that cream cheese mixture inside there. So this is Jeff with Smoked Meat with Jeff. You gotta try these. Have fun on your smoker, and until next time. Ooh, hot. One of my favorite smoked appetizers.